Hinn, an infamous pastor who is well known for preaching a false prosperity gospel and proclaiming false prophecies, has finally spoken up after being openly rebuked and called out by Mike Winger. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hop into this video and see exactly what he is saying in it. We're going to react to it. But before we do me a favor real quick. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, okay? So this video can get pushed out to more people like yourself. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Thank you guys so much. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and tap that subscribe button, okay? And let's hop into this video right now.
What do you want them to know about you? Tell me, who is the real Benny Hinn?
The real Benny Hinn wants to finish better than when I began. This is the real Benny Hinn today. The real Benny Hinn wants to know the Bible better than I've ever known it. And the real Benny Hinn wants Jesus to intensify his love in me for him with his fire. That's the real Benny Hinn. When I talk to the Lord, my real cry is, Lord, I want to be accepted on that day. That's all that really matters to me. That's the real me. People don't know that about me, but that's the real Benny Hinn now.
Okay, so he says that's the real Benny Hinn. He wants to be accepted. He wants to know more about God, learn more about the Bible, and he wants to increase his fire for God, his zeal for God. All of those things sound good, right? There's just only one problem that stands, is that Benny Hinn has been a pastor for 50 years. Okay, he's about to say that in this video. He's been pastoring for 50 years. We only get, on average, 75 to 80 years of life. You'd be lucky to get anything more than that these days. What else? How much else can you learn about God? You've had 50 years of pastoring to learn more about God, learn more about the Bible. And I know we're never going to know enough. We're never going to learn everything, obviously. But after 50 years of being a pastor, you should be the elder of elders. You should be the one that everyone comes to for the word, because you've had a chance to study God, learn more about him, live a life that is pleasing to God, following his commandments for 50 years. That's a long time, guys. A long time. Okay, so I get it. And that's good that he has this mindset today. But man, 50 years, that's a long time to not increase. It's a long time, man. Let's continue on.
Well, because I don't talk about it much. They see the clips from crusades, they see the clips from TV programs, and they see the old clips from This Is Your Day and on, and they make up their own conclusion. And I think that's why they come up with their own beliefs on who I really am. But when I started in ministry, it was a very simple beginning. And I want to finish with a simple finish.
You have been following Christ for decades. As you reflect back on those years, are there any regrets that you have?
Absolutely. I'm a human being. I've made mistakes. I remember Paul telling me he made mistakes by the truckloads. We all make mistakes. The two things I regret most in ministry: I was not too wise a number of times with prophecy. Number one, I had guests come to the crusades that I think brought harm to not only people's lives, but also to my reputation, because their prophecies were not really prophecy. They went outside the borders of redemption, because anything that's outside redemption is not prophecy. We know, of course, that prophecy is for edification, exhortation, and comfort, but it must be within redemption. And when people come who go beyond that, we should not allow that. And sadly, I allowed it, and then I stopped. But that was years ago when I stopped. And then there were times when
So he said that there were people coming and he was doing prophecies, but it was outside of redemption. I don't know what he meant by that. All we know is that he's himself. He himself has said prophecies that absolutely did not happen. Okay, he's said things that just absolutely did not happen. Is not true. It wasn't a prophecy. It wasn't a real prophecy. But I was reading the Bible, and it said, I want to say it was in Deuteronomy. It said, if someone comes to you with a prophecy and it doesn't happen, do not believe that person anymore. They do not have the gift of prophecy. So you don't get too many chances to get it wrong, okay? If you want to give people chances to get things wrong, then you got to say, how many chances do we give someone? 3, 300, 3,000? How many chances do we get before a prophet is saying, before he's a false prophet, right? So, but Deuteronomy says that if they come to you with a prophecy and it does not happen, that prophecy was not from God, and you should not listen to them anymore because they are not a real prophet, okay? And Paul said that to test every prophecy, test it. He said, do not overlook any prophecy. So if someone gives you a prophecy, don't say, oh, it's not real. Oh, it's not going to happen. No, test it and see. So we can know for sure if that person is a real prophet of God or a false prophet. Okay. Unfortunately, Benny Hinn is a false prophet.
And then there were times when I thought God had showed me something that he wasn't showing me, and I spoke it out. But in 1 Corinthians 13, we see very clearly that we all prophesy in part. That means we don't see the full picture. And sadly, and I wish I can go back and fix it, but sadly, there were some prophecies I gave that were not accurate or from the Lord. But who's perfect? And for that, of course, I ask people to forgive me. I'm just human. I made mistakes like that. And I'll probably make them again, I suppose, down.
No. You can't do that. You can't do that because you cannot bring out false prophecies and say, oh, well, I'm human. No one's perfect. No, because guess what? If that's the case, these prophecies will be coming from us. Okay, a prophecy is supposed to come from the Lord. If you say something that is not true, you're not a prophet. You're not hearing from God. Okay, you're doing this in the flesh. You're not hearing from God. You can't. And he said, 1 Corinthians 13 says that we prophesy in part. It says that, but it's not saying that we prophesy in part, saying that part of our prophecies are accurate and the other half isn't. No, it's saying we don't understand the full picture of what we're prophesying, but God does. We only can understand parts of the prophecy, but in full, God understands what he's trying to get out to his people through you as a prophet. So you can't just say, oh, I messed up and you got to forgive me. No, you're just a false prophet. You got to stop saying that you are a prophet because you're not. You're absolutely not. And yeah, it sounds to me like he is trying to dodge the accountability of what he's done in the past. And that right there is not good either, because if you are truly sorrowful for what you've done, don't dodge the accountability. Let people know, like, I screwed up. I messed up. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it again. But yeah, I was wrong in the past. I was wrong. All right, let's continue on. I think this part right here is going to be the most interesting part of the video, where he's actually going to somewhat bring up what Mike Winger was doing just a few weeks ago. He's going to kind of bring it up without saying Mike Winger's name. So let's continue on.
I'm down the road because I'm not perfect. We will be perfect one day when we're with the Lord. As long as we're in this body that's imperfect, we're not going to make perfect decisions and even say the things we need to say or should say. But, you know, it's sad when people focus on the times you missed it. But that's just, you know, the way it is. Yeah, there were times when I did not miss it. And then the other one is prosperity. And that's been a very difficult one for me. When I started in ministry, it was simple. And then the ministry grew. I was invited to go to what they call praise-a-thons. And I think that's when my troubles began. I don't blame anyone. But sadly, you get kind of in a place that becomes difficult. You don't know what to do and how to get out of it. So I came to the conclusion in 2019 that I did not want to be a part of the gimmickry of it. And I still stand by that. But sadly, I let pressure get to me. And because of that pressure, I said things and did things I should not have done. And for that, really, I am sorry. And I ask the dear people watching us to really forgive me for that. And I'm striving with all my heart to be as biblical as possible with that. And frankly,
Okay.
I'm...
Okay, so he's talking about these praise-a-thons that he went to, that he was a part of. And so this is outside of my time. I am not old enough to have witnessed these praise-a-thons. But what I can see from what he's saying is that this is when the gimmick, like he said, the gimmickry started. This is when the fake healing started. This is when the God will bless you with more. As long as you give this money, he's going to bless you with more. That's where that started. That's where God is going to heal you if you give this money, because you're showing that you have faith in him by giving this money. He's saying that's where all that started, okay? And that may be true. He probably started his church, it started growing, and he went there, and he's seen the type of money that you can make as a pastor by lying to your people, and he started doing it. And there is no one to blame for that. You can't say I couldn't find a way out. No. If you are a part of something that is wrong, you're supposed to come out and say, no, this right here is demonic. This is not the gospel. I don't want any part of this. I am going to report this. I'm going to let people know about this scam that y'all are pulling. But instead, he based his entire ministry off of it. He profited heavily from it. And now that all of that is said and done, and God has exposed him in his ministry for what he's done, now he wants to change. Now he wants to say, forgive me. We have to forgive him. We're called to forgive him. He just like Jesus can forgive him, and Jesus will forgive him. If it's a sincere turning from what he's done, then we're called to forgive him as well. But that doesn't take away the fact that you've done this. You still got to be punished, as far as you should not be a pastor. You should not be preaching anymore. You should not be doing any prophecy. You should be sitting in a church learning, and you should be continuing to live for God. That's it. You shouldn't have a flock under you, because you had a flock and you destroyed that. Completely destroyed it. All right. This is the last couple minutes, and then I'm going to show y'all a couple of scriptures real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and conclude this video. But let's go ahead and finish this out real quick.
Kind of at the end of my road anyways. I don't see myself needing to do a whole lot of that down the road. But right now, my focus is the Lord.
He's already rich.
And only the Lord. And if, of course, there will be the time when I may have to raise funds for our ministry, I will do it as biblically as I know how, and balanced.
Can you explain that a little more?
I want that teaching to be about Jesus, and only Jesus and the gospel, because the heart of prosperity has to be the gospel, true biblical prosperity. And that is what I will do and strive to do for the rest of my life.
Now, I want to read y'all a couple of scriptures. Like I said, we are called to forgive him, but we're not called to fall under his authority anymore. No one else should be under Benny Hinn. Okay, now this is why. Let me pull this up for you. So this is the title of this verse. They labeled it "Forgiveness for the Offender." Okay, if anyone has caused grief, he has not so much grieved me as he has grieved all of you to some extent. Not to put it too severely, the punishment inflicted on him by the majority is sufficient. Now, instead, you ought to forgive and comfort him so that he will not be overwhelmed by excessive sorrow. I urge you, therefore, to reaffirm your love for him. Another reason I wrote you was to see if you would stand the test and be obedient in everything. Anyone you forgive, I also forgive. And what I've forgiven, if there was anything to forgive, I have forgiven in the sight of Christ for your sake, in order that Satan might not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes. Okay, so this is Paul speaking to the people in the church in Corinth, but it applies to Benny Hinn because Benny Hinn has offended many people. He's lied about a lot of things. He's lied about a lot of miracles. He's spent a lot of people's money that shouldn't have given him money for his ministry. But if this apology is sincere, then we are called to forgive him. Okay, because we don't want to hold on to unforgiveness, even though it's Benny Hinn. You cannot hold on to unforgiveness because he's coming out and saying, I am sorry, I messed up. He is saying that. He's not a false prophet that's still doing things and saying, I don't care, I'm right, you guys are wrong. No, he's saying, I'm sorry, I messed up. So he is still within the faith. I cannot question his salvation. We cannot question his salvation. Only God can. But he has came out and said he is sorry for what he's done. So we're called to forgive him. Now, with that being said, let me show you another verse in the Bible about how an apostle, or not an apostle, but how a bishop or an elder or a pastor of a church should be and what qualifies you to be that. And let's see if he can qualify to continue to pastor or not. Okay, so this is 1 Timothy chapter 3. Okay, and we're starting from verse 1. It says, here is a trustworthy saying, whoever aspires to be an overseer desires a noble task because it's not easy. Now, the overseer is to be above reproach. Okay, so if we look up that word reproach, let's look it up real quick. Okay, so as we can see, it says reproach, the expression of disapproval or disappointment. Address someone in such a way to express disappointment or disapproval. Okay, so he is to be above reproach. He is to not be looked at as disappointing, someone who's disappointed people in things that he's done. Okay, it says he faithful to his wife, so you can't cheat. Temperate, so you have to have a good temper. Self-controlled, so you shouldn't be under bondage to your feelings and your emotions. Respectable. Is he respectable right now? Not so much. Hospitable. We can say that he's hospitable. We've never seen him do anything that's wrong, as far, not wrong, but as far as like, I mean, honestly, taking people's money is not hospitable. So we could say that he's not hospitable. Able to teach. He taught a prosperity gospel that was false for many years. He was not able to teach properly. Not given the drunkenness. I don't know if he drinks or not. Not violent. I wouldn't say he's violent. Not quarrelsome. He probably doesn't argue a lot. I don't know. Not a lover of money. He loved money. I don't know if he loves money as much as he did before. He made a lot of money off of people, off of his congregation in the wrong way. Not because he had a lot of people there and they were given to his church. Because he had a lot of people there and they were given to his church because he would lie about miracles and healings and prophecies, which is wrong. Okay, let's look at this part. He must do so in a manner worthy of full respect. No, not that part. Not conceited. He must also have a good reputation with outsiders so that he will not fall into disgrace and into the devil's traps. Benny Hinn does not have a good reputation among outsiders. Benny Hinn doesn't have a good reputation, period, because of what he's done. So that's why I said it's unlikely, or it is not a good idea to remain a pastor if you're Benny Hinn. If I was a part of his community, I would tell him that he should probably sit, and he should give his church up to another person, and he should sit. I'm not saying he should be kicked out of the church. I'm not saying that he needs to be disowned, but I'm saying he definitely should not be a pastor anymore, according to what the Bible says. Okay, y'all. So yes, Benny Hinn has officially apologized for a lot of the things that he's done. He understands that he was wrong. I still think he lacks accountability. But he's just one of many. He's one of many. He's one of many, man. I'm telling you, real soon, some of y'all's favorite pastors are about to be next. Trust me. We can see it now because we see the same style that they have. It doesn't match the reputable pastors. It's close to these false pastors, false prophets, and only thing that can save them is Jesus. They got to turn to Jesus. They have to start doing things the right way. But this is crazy. I'm glad he apologized, but it is too late to try to change and be another continue to be a pastor. It's too late for that. Just follow God. You don't have to be a pastor anymore. Follow God. Live the rest of your life following Christ wholeheartedly. Give to the poor. Stop being greedy with what you have. That's it, man. That's it. This is crazy, man. Look, I think you can still pray for him. Okay, some people you cannot pray for. I believe you can pray for him. Okay, because he has came out and apologized, and he seems somewhat sincere. Okay, I don't know him personally, so I can't guarantee that. But anyways, look, man, let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section. Okay, if you stayed and watched the entire thing, I appreciate you for doing that. Let me know in the comment section, those of y'all that have stayed and watched this, okay? Because I might actually start giving little gifts out, man, things that I can help out with. You know what I'm saying? Maybe make some t-shirts, give some free t-shirts or whatever. Okay, we want to build a community of Christians who love the Lord and who loves the book, okay, the Bible and the Bible by itself, okay? So let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section, okay? If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, I encourage you, hit that subscribe button and hit the post notification bell so that you do not miss another video, all right? My name is Aaron Page. I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Until next time, I'm out.